Welcome to Radical Underdogs and welcome to race 2 of the RSCC Mazda MX-5 Clubman Championship. We gained 5 positions in the last race, mostly through mistakes of others, but you know, take them how they come. And we're just doing the spanner checks like we did at the workshop. You can see that in one of the other videos. We're doing that basically the same. So between races, it's only a 15-minute race, so we're taking the fuel out, putting fuel back in again, just so we know exactly how much fuel we've got in the car. Going to check the oil, going to check all the safety systems, make sure they're all still okay. Otherwise, we're not going to do a post-race check. Mechanic at hand, checking suspension like we did back at the workshop, but at the track. We're running over the yellow curbs, so running over the yellow curbs, I think, is going to be quite damaging to this car long term. So unless I really have to, I might try and avoid them in the next race, but it does get you time. It is very tempting. It is very tempting. Welcome to Future Wheel doing the commentary here in race 2. Right late in the evening, you can see the sun going down and the lights are off and we're going, starting up in position 19. I was expecting to lose a few positions because there's a few faster cars behind us. But we started quite well, not lost any positions yet. In the slipstream behind Michael Pearce and Jake Stiles there in car number 2. Got right behind us, got Kev Bird. There's cars up ahead going off onto the gravel. We've managed to avoid any contact ourselves. I think a little bit of a pushing and shoving behind us. The rest of the field making it through safely. You've got George Grant in car 69 right behind us, but onto the left of us. That's car number 96, Pete Bell, who's made his way through. We're now going to be side by side with Russell Halley. Just go down through the Craner curves. We're going to got the inside line for the old hairpin. I think we're too far back to make that work this time around. We're going to slot in behind Russell, who gives us plenty of room on the inside, so avoiding any contact there. Now we've got George Grant putting us under pressure behind as we go up through the under the Starkeys Bridge up to McLean's, but he's going to be on the outside as we go into the braking zone, and he's not going to be able to find a way around the outside there. Down on a little bit of a tiny little bit of a straight down up to Cobblestone. George himself is under pressure there from Pete Bell. So it's one of these things in Mazda MX-5 racing. If you go defensive, you then lose touch with the pack in front, and if you go offensive, sometimes you end up having to defend the next corner. So that's exactly what happened there. I've now lost touch with the group in front and also lost touch with the group behind as well. So side by side in a little bit of a pocket, which means I can take the racing line as you go into Goddard's, which means I can catch nicely up with the group ahead who have been fighting. Actually, we're going to be alongside Russell Halley as we go over the start-finish line. We picked up that position briefly as we go over the start-finish line, up to position 16 as we go through the first lap. So up loads of positions from where we qualified. We qualified in 24th. Now down into first corner Redgate for the first time. Really close to Russell. Russell made that position back. He kept the inside line as we went down that start-finish straight. We weren't able to drive all the way around the outside. So line astern as we go down the Craner curves, which is flat out in the MX-5, down into the old hairpin, and actually the race settling down a bit, and we have actually found ourselves on the back of this faster group. So now the challenge is going to have to be to stick with it, because you saw the last lap, my best lap was a 1:28.2, so I'm going to have to up my game to stay with this group for the rest of this race. You can see George Grant unbraking, making up loads of time, but actually then missing the apex going wide and actually coming back under pressure from Pete Bell. We're going to skip ahead, and I'm going to skip ahead to the fastest lap of the weekend for me. So it is worth having a look at this, and if you've got any pointers as to how I can get even more time, that would be really helpful. Breaking down into Redgate, I was braking it just at where the merge line starts, turning in, trying to do a single turn in rather than double turn in, and then running out wide. Maybe I could have run out a bit wider there, carried a bit, and therefore carried a bit more speed through Redgate. Flat through the Craner curves, and actually picking up a bit of a slipstream through the Craner curves on this occasion. Braking, well, as you can see, just a bit before the rumble strip starts for the old hairpin. Maybe could have carried a bit more speed there. Again, maybe could have used a bit more of the circuit. They were measuring track limits there, but I never got any warnings for track limits, so it does kind of indicate that maybe I could have been pushing it a bit more. Again, up the top of the hill there, braking where the rumble strips were as well. Again, here, braking a little bit later than I was at the start of the weekend anyway, so after where the rumble strips start on the left-hand side, and then obviously flat down the Starkey Straight. It's a long straight at Donington Park. And then on this braking point for the chicane here, I'm using the doorway on the left here sometimes I use the end of the building, but actually I found that braking a little bit earlier meant I could get the turn in nice and early, and then the power down earlier. You can see up ahead the cars are all coming together, so we're back into the race now. So after that fastest lap, again, any pointers would be useful, but the cars coming together, and you can see how that looks on the live stream.
It's kicking off everywhere, isn't it? Pimley's come out of the slipstream to have a look. Harry Dean, though, fastest lap.
You can see the cars coming together.
No, that was close to disaster. I don't think they realised they were 3 abreast there, did they?
I don't think they did realise they were 3 abreast. Back into my first person view, back around Redgate for the 4th time. We've got Kev Bird right up ahead of us now. We were finished 1 place ahead of Kev Bird in the last race. We're now side by side as we go down through the Craner curves. It's a tough place to go side by side. Kev's giving us room. We're going to just back out of it actually, rather than go side by side all the way around. We're going to try and get a better drive out of the old hairpin, which you can see we have done because we slowed a little bit earlier, but then got on the power earlier, so we can carry the speed up the hill now. It's not going to find a way very easily past this group, but it's certainly worth trying. Going up into McLean's again, doing the same thing, braking a little bit earlier, but power on earlier, and maybe I can catch up with this group and find a way past. Didn't really work out on that occasion. Going up through Coppice. Again, really important to carry the speed through onto the back straight. And picking up the slipstream, really important to pick up the slipstreams. If you don't pick it up, you start to lose time and then fall out of touch with the group. You can see I have picked up my game, so I am actually able to keep with this group. Maybe I can make a few places. Gold cars coming together a bit, running wide, and I'm picking up 2 places through the misfortune of others. Not a bad position to be in. We're now in position 16. You can see how that looked on the live stream as well.
Group as well, the sort of almost golf liveried car. Oh, and Gavin Bird skates in from a long way back.
You can see the cars just came together and they sort of neatly
Pace just about avoiding the end of that time. While he's taking the Grand Prix loop there.
Now back to the first person view. We've got Matthew Goddard up ahead of us as we go over the start finish line up to position 15. This is a really good result for us. 15 out of 40 cars running, so it's just a case of sticking with it now. Matthew Goddard and Jamie Turner in the purple car up ahead of Matthew there, going through Redgate, following them through and trying to stick with this fast pace that I've been running for this race. Now skipping ahead to lap 6 of 7, so only 2 laps remaining. 3-4 cars all fighting over this position. I think we're all fighting over 11th. Yep, if my maths is right. And if we can get 11th, that would be the best result of the season for us. Now we've got behind Russell Halley as we go down the hill. There's 2 wide as they go through Craner curves. This is all making it through nice and safely. Let's go down to the old hairpin. Again, 2 wide through the old hairpin. This is potentially a chance for us to get some time back as well. We're going to go side by side with Russell as go up the hill. Potentially not quite got enough speed, but we're going to be right up on his tail as we go up to McLean's, go up to the braking zone. Getting following him through, but look behind us. You've got 128. That's Del Pace. Going to try and make his way back through. He lost a bit of time earlier. You saw we came into contact with Kev Bird and went wide at the chicane, so he's definitely going to try and make his way back through here. So we've got to go on the defensive. We know there's only a couple of laps left, and this is the time to defend and try and keep this best position of the year, trying to break the slipstream as we go down the Starkey Straight. He's not having any of it. He's going to go right up against get the slipstream and go on the outside of the chicane. As you can see, we've lost touch with the group in front. We're side by side. He's actually briefly got that position. We're going to be side by side on the exit. He's given us nicely enough room. A nice bit of cars width there. And that's a good bit of racing. But we're just up ahead, and we've got the inside line for Redgate. So we do need to keep that inside line. If we go back onto the racing line, no doubt Dell's going to be down on the inside. We're going to be side by side through Redgate. George Grant getting on the action as well. It's going to be 3 of us fighting over this 15th position. I think we've given up on that. 11th position. Got Dell again right behind us as we go down the hill, and not going to go side by side, but he's going to be picking up any little mistake. You can see actually Dell's got a little bit of a wiggle on as we go down into the braking zone for the old hairpin. As we find out afterwards, actually Dell's got a puncture developing, so he's getting less and less traction as we go through this lap. Must have been picked up earlier when we maybe came into contact. So it is getting harder and harder, and you can see turning in on the right-hander it is for us into McLean's. And tyres should be getting a bit of a gap going now, so potentially we could hold on to this. We're on the last lap of the race here, best position of the year, so we definitely want to try and keep it. You can see tyres going off a little bit, going a little bit sideways where we weren't before at Coppice, but still being able to carry a fair amount of speed through. This is, you know, a quick speed for us anyways. It's definitely a faster lap than we did at any other point through qualifying or the last race, so we've managed to keep on this speed even though we are not following with the slipstream of the group ahead. You can see Dell's with that puncture out wide, out onto the grass. We're over the line for 15th position. That is the best result of the year for us, 15th out of 40. You can see pretty happy with that. Again, keeping some faster drivers behind us. And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see the winner of the race in this occasion was Matthew Fletcher. Excellent, well-deserved win for Matthew, and thank you very much, and see you again next time.